I've owned the Jaguar I-PACE now for a week, and every time I look at it, it still excites me, and that says something. Ian Callum, Jaguar's design director, has said, "We had the opportunity to change the fundamental proportions of an SUV, and to me, that really shows. It has Jaguar performance, design and luxury at its heart. But it's a Jaguar with a difference. The I-PACE is Jaguar's first all-electric mid-sized SUV. The I-PACE shares design inspiration with the influential CX-75 concept supercar. Every feature of the design works incredibly hard in increasing its aerodynamics in order to increase its range efficiency. The flush door handles being a great example of this. The hood scoop is also functional. Air comes in through the large grille, out through the scoop, up over the roof and down through the rear spoiler. It's so efficient, a rear glass wiper isn't fitted. Behind the grille, active vanes direct air to cool the batteries. They close when they're not needed, again, to optimize on aerodynamics. Every detail has purpose. Moving around to the rear, the spoiler and the diffuser down here all help extend the car's range. And you'll see there's no tailpipes, no emission. It's clean, simple, and intelligent. Importantly, an electric vehicle powertrain requires less space than a conventional internal combustion engine, with things like the wheel placement being able to be pushed out to the corners of the car. This not only gives the I-PACE better road handling and stability, but results in a roomier cabin. If I pop the trunk using the very practical gesture tailgate, just like this, you can see the I-PACE really has a generous amount of space, far beyond its compact footprint. I found owning the I-PACE really straightforward and stress-free, and charging couldn't be simpler. I had this 32 amp AC wall box fitted, and it takes approximately 13 hours to charge from completely zero to 100%. That's about 240 miles of range. As well as charging at home, there are AC destination charges found at places you may want to stay for several hours or even overnight, including local shopping centres, hotels and gyms. For those longer journeys where you need to charge on the road, there's a comprehensive network of DC journey chargers at rest areas and larger gas stations. A typical 50 kilowatt DC rapid charger can achieve 0 to 80% charge in 85 minutes. The interior is bathed in natural light through this full-length panoramic glass roof. The special glass keeps cabin temperature optimized, which means less reliance on the climate control. This conserves battery range. I get a real sense of luxury and refinement from the interplay of different materials and textures in here. The leather combined with these hard finishes, like this carbon fiber and aluminium. But there's a range of other options too, gloss black trim or charcoal ash veneer for instance. No transmission means extra storage in this floating center console with discrete USB chargers either side, and there's further charging points in this deep storage compartment with a very clever place for your phone. Now, I'm familiar with Jaguar's fully customizable Touch Pro Duo system, but there are additional features on the I-PACE. Here on the 10-inch upper touchscreen is the home for navigation, media and phone connectivity. The lower 5.5-inch screen floats and has these tactile multifunctional dials for features like climate control, heated and cooled seats. Here right in front of me, the standard interactive driver display, that's also customizable. It lets me lay the screen out with different information, so if I want a full 3D map, I can get it. And on top of that, I've got the speedometer and range information in front of me too. In the navigation system, EV navigation delivers more accurate range predictions, providing information specific to my I-PACE and driving style. The system features route options based on the car's remaining charge point locations and range-friendly routes. And on a long journey, I can manage the I-PACE to give me battery priority. By selecting Eco, it modifies settings like climate, audio volume and accelerator response in order to save battery power. But for me, this is a game changer. Software over-the-air wireless updates available to ensure I have access to the latest I-PACE software means the car is constantly updating itself. The fact that Jaguar uses the same permanent magnet synchronous electric motors for their Formula E racing cars as they do in this, the I-PACE, is very impressive. And when my foot goes down, this 394 horsepower version reaches 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds. That's 512 foot-pound of immediate torque. That's pulling approximately 0.6 Gs, which is just shy of an F-16 jet at takeoff. The performance, in part, is due to the battery position, which is low between the two axles, giving it near 50-50 front-rear weight distribution. And the standard active electronic air suspension automatically lowers the ride height at speed to reduce drag. The optional adaptive dynamics with configurable dynamics delivers real-time ride adjustment to optimize the balance between comfort, refinement, and agility. Being familiar with Jaguar, I'm already a big fan of the many convenient features available through the in-control remote app. But with the Jaguar I-PACE, that's been taken to a whole new level. From the comfort of my home or from wherever I am, I can check on things like battery level, charging rate, and my estimated range. And the magic continues. Alexa, ask Jaguar to unlock my car.
Your car is unlocked.
With the I-PACE, there's so many clever, innovative, cool things about the car. If I'm on a long journey, I like to catch up with friends or listen to some music. Jaguar has fitted acoustic laminated glass, which reduces cabin noise, making for a very relaxing journey. However, at the other end of the spectrum, the sound designers at Jaguar have introduced engine acceleration noise through the car's loudspeakers. As a driver, this gives you a real sense of power during acceleration. At higher speeds, the pitch and tone gets edgier, a reminder you're part of Jaguar's performance heritage. Other intelligent technologies include things like enhanced brake regeneration. Now this uses the kinetic energy of braking to recharge the battery. By using the touchscreen, you can raise the level of regenerative braking. The corresponding increase in deceleration means that in stop-and-go traffic, there's far greater control of your speed using only the throttle. So driving in heavy traffic just got a whole lot easier. It has all the hallmarks of a Jaguar: design, luxury, and the performance characteristic. But the I-PACE is the evolution of those qualities to the next level.
Well done! You've gone and purchased the I-PACE.
Yeah, there's the I-PACE, and I've got the home charging unit as well. I got it yesterday, very excited about it.
Oh, it looks fantastic. How was the installation?
Do you know what? It was really straightforward in the end. And then the first thing I did was connect my home Wi-Fi with the charger. So now I can monitor the vehicle and the charger remotely, so I'm all ready to go.
Well, have you used it yet?
I haven't, because the car's got plenty of charge, but I was waiting for you to turn up to run me through the basics.
Actually, it couldn't be easier. The car needs to be unlocked to open the port.
You do that?
That's great. So just pick up the plug and let's walk it over to the I-PACE.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead and plug it in.
Straight in?
Yep. Now there's only one way that it can go, so there's no confusion.
Straightforward. Right. So is that charging now then?
Yes, so the white light means that the vehicle is ready to be charged. If you see a blinking green light, it means that it's charging. And when there's a solid green light, it actually means that charge have been completed. And the Wi-Fi actually means that you can monitor progress on your phone or set it to charge only during off-peak electricity hours.
I notice also the filler door, there's a handbook link.
Ah, yes. Well, the answer to all your questions at your fingertips, just in case you forget.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why 80% and not 100?
Okay, so the lithium-ion battery in your I-PACE will rapidly accept the charge up to 80%. But the last 20% may take as long to charge as the first 80%. So when you're out and about charging, especially on the public network, it's great to understand this so you're not waiting around unnecessarily.
All right. Okay, another question. Just below the home charge, I can see there's a cover there. What's that for?
Yeah, so if you remove the cover, that will be if you wanted to use a DC rapid charger.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and take this out, and all you would have to do is remove the cover, and then the DC rapid charger would go into the whole port. And that's it.
All right. And how long does it take to charge from 0 to 100%?
About 13 hours to fully charge, which is about 240 miles. 10 hours if you charge to 80%. And that's approximately 190 miles
That's
of
still
range.
pretty good.
But bear in mind, you're unlikely to be charging from 0 very often.
Well, I have to say, talking to you, using the Jaguar website, this process has been very straightforward. Thanks very much.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. And I'm glad you're happy, and I'm glad that you got your home charger installed, which looks fantastic.
Johanna, if I'm serious about electric, I think I'm going to need to install a home charger.
Glad to hear it.
I was hoping you'd be able to advise.
Of course, I'm more than happy to help, having been through the process myself.
Good. Now, I love the idea of having like a fuel station at my home. That's how I'm seeing it. Because we do it with our phones, don't we?
Yes.
We plug them in overnight and leave the next day fully charged. Being able to do that with your car is just so convenient.
Exactly.
So I have some questions.
Okay, fire away.
There seems to be a lot of choices out there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. But look, I know it can be a little overwhelming, but Jaguar is keen to make installing a charger at home very straightforward for customers. So they recommend a charge point charger, of which there are 2.
What's the difference?
Okay, I actually have 2 with me if you want to come take a look.
So, what have we got in here then?
So ChargePoint has provided me with 2 examples to show you.
They're much smaller than I thought they would be, actually, but very neat and compact.
Yes, robust but simple and a very elegant design.
So before you explain the differences between the chargers, I'm guessing all this information is online as well.
Yes, so if you go to the Jaguar website, again, it's going to be all clearly laid out. So lots of information, not only about the home chargers, but also about the network and the public charging stations.
These chargers look identical to me, so what are the differences?
Okay, well, both are level 2 chargers rated at 32 amps. This one plugs into the wall, which is actually kind of perfect for a space like yours.
Yeah. So what is the other one that you've brought along?
It's essentially exactly the same except hardwired.
What does hardwired mean?
Again, it can be used indoors, but primarily it's for outdoor use. So the cabling from the charger to the power supply will need to be chased into the wall so that it protects the electrical connections from the elements. So the advantage of the one that you're considering, the plug-in version, it's that you can take it with you when you move house.
That's good to know for the future. It's almost like having a transportable fuel station.
Exactly.
If these are level 2 though, I suppose the obvious question is, what does level 1 mean?
Okay, so a level 1 refers to using the supplied cable and plug with your EV and plugging it into a standard domestic power supply,
Right,
so
okay.
a 120 volt outlet. Now, that typically takes about 6 times longer to charge your vehicle than level 2 charging. So
right.
let's get this one.
This one? The home charger. Should I grab this?
Yes,
All right.
please.
Is that all we need?
Actually, would you mind closing the door?
Of course.
Thank you. Yes, this is it.
I think the home charger is definitely the way to go for me.
That's what's important. Now let's find a place to put it.
Initially, I thought about putting the home charger over that side of the house, nearer the house actually.
Okay.
But then I realised because it's quite a big garage, I thought it'd be a better idea to have it possibly here so it kind of supplies both bays.
Well, you can specify the length of the charging cable, so these have 25 foot, but you can opt for an 18-foot cable.
All right, so does this just plug into a normal wall socket?
No, so you'll need to speak to a certified installer who will recommend what's called a NEMA 650 outlet.
Okay.
Yep, it's basically a 40 amp service that's run from your breaker panel.
It does sound like a job for an electrician, and you do say certified.
Yes.
How do I find one? How do I know they're certified?
Well, again, Jaguar are on hand with this. They have a recommended partner for the setup and installing stage, so the Jaguar website will refer you on to them.
They thought of everything, haven't they?
Yes, well, this partnership is very useful in connecting the customer with the most appropriate installers in their area. So for starters, all of their installers are vetted, trained, and accredited by them, and their work is guaranteed.
I've got it here. This really is peace of mind.
But you know what? Just looking around,
Yeah.
your home home is relatively new, so your electricity supply and wiring should be compatible.
Yeah, my breaker box actually into the house is just outside of the garage, so I'd imagine this would be quite a straightforward job.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. A certified installer will recommend and fit dedicated circuit breakers for the home charger. Now, the socket needs to be positioned about 12 inches below where your charger is going to go and upside down so the cable runs neatly up to the charger. So if you want to position it here, your certified installer is going to have to run a cable through conduit, or you have it routed inside the wall. Either way, they'll provide a quote for the work.
All right, but say, for example, I lived in a property that needed more substantial upgrading of its electricity supply to accommodate the 240-volt charger. What would that involve?
Look, again, a certified installer can talk a customer through their particular circumstances. Now, a city permit may need to be pulled for the work, or a site visit for inspection and sign-off, but an accredited installer can really organize all those things for you.
I can see the value in that. It just saves time and hassle, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, they have a very useful customer questionnaire to determine your domestic situation. So questions about your power supply, etc. It helps them assess your personal situation. So with this information, they can often get installers to quote based solely on the data you provided.
That's great. I guess that means you don't have to gather quotes yourself.
Exactly.
So I can skip all of that and arrange for an installer to come and do it all for me if I don't want to go through the questionnaire.
Well, that's not a problem at all, actually. You can call a certified installer directly and book an appointment for them to visit.
All right, anything else I need to know about installation?
Yes, these charging stations use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to connect to your iOS or your Android phone. So what you need to do is consider placing it so it can pick up the Wi-Fi signal.
Right, make sure I've got signal. So that means then I can start it talking to my smartphone.
Yes, absolutely. And as well as the Jaguar remote app. For setting charging times and levels, ChargePoint has a similar app for scheduling charging and setting reminders. It also will remotely and automatically update the station as new features become available. It's actually very clever.
I love it. And actually researching EVs and home charging has been really interesting.
Great.
And using the Jaguar website has been really clear. So thanks very much, Joanna.
My pleasure. Now, will you be purchasing a home charger then?
I think the opportunity to wake up in the morning with a full tank of battery power is just so appealing.
It is.
And in fact, as soon as you're gone, I'm going to get back on the website.